Good morning and welcome to Thursday's thought for the day. And the thought today is called Like a Deer. High, steep, rocky, craggy, scary places. A deer's feet are made for places like this. Deer can stand on the highest places in the world. The Bible says that God has some high places for you as well. The path God takes you on may be steep. The climb may be hard. The trail may be narrow. The way might be perilous. But He has promised to be with you. He will always make sure there is a perfect way for you to go through. He makes you as sure-footed as a deer, made for the heights. And the psalm says in Psalm 18 verses 32 to 33, God makes my perfect way. He makes me as sure-footed as a deer, enabling me to stand on mountain heights. Now, years ago, we went to Israel. I've told you that before. And whilst we were there, we saw on the sort of hilly mountainside a shepherd leading some goats up this sort of mountain path. And it was, incredibly narrow, to the point where you were thinking, how are these goats staying on the side of a mountain? Now, our reading this morning was talking about deer and not goats, but if a goat can be graceful enough to stand on the side of a mountain, then a deer certainly can. The psalmist, when he's talking about how God helps him like a deer to stand on the mountain heights, perhaps the mountain that he's talking about is the mountain where he wants to build the temple, the holy mountain, where the holy place where God lives is. That the psalmist is saying that it is God who enables me to stand in those holy places, to stand in His presence. And the way there, much like the reading that we've read this morning, sometimes can be perilous. Look at the words that the writer here uses. It might be steep. It might be a hard climb. The way might be narrow. It might be perilous. Sometimes it can feel like that. The road into God's presence can feel hard. It can feel steep. It can feel narrow. It can feel perilous at times because of what's going on in our lives. But the psalmist says, it's you that enables me. It's you that gives me the feet, like the deer, to be able to stand on those mountain tops. Now, I don't know how you're feeling today. I don't know how you're feeling in terms of how close you feel to God, how close you feel to His presence. Whether you feel a bit like a goat today, or maybe even just a kind of valley floor bound elephant, the least able to scale the heights, or whether you feel like a deer today. But God is the one who not only promises to be with you as you make that journey into His presence, but He promises that He will enable you to do that, no matter how hard the way, no matter how narrow the path, no matter how perilous the journey, that He promises to enable you to have those deer's feet, as it were, to stand on the mountain tops and to see Him in all His glory and all His splendor. And it may be today a prayer for you, for me, for us, is, Lord, would you give us those feet that enable us to stand in your presence, and would you promise to be with us? May we know your presence, no matter how hard or narrow or perilous or steep the journey, and that we might be able to see you in all your glory and all your majesty and all your splendor. God makes my way perfect. May God, whatever your way is today, may he make it perfect and reveal himself to you. So God bless you, and I'll speak to you again tomorrow.